A new study claims some popular oat-based breakfast foods marketed to children have dangerous levels of a chemical some health officials link to cancer. The nonprofit Environmental Working Group says 26 samples from Quaker and General Mills products contained unsafe levels of the weed killer glyphosate. In August, we reported on their first study. It found 31 samples of other oat-based products, including some organic, contained the chemical. Anna Warner is here with some of the new findings. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Glyphosate is an herbicide used on farms across the U.S. The powerful chemical kills weeds, but it's controversial because it's been classified by the World Health Organization as probably carcinogenic to humans. Once again, this environmental group is warning that many of the breakfast foods you enjoy could be bad for you.
There's really no reason consumers should have to worry about whether they're getting a dose of glyphosate with their breakfast every morning.
That was the Environmental Working Group's Scott Faber in August, talking about a study his group commissioned that found the weed killer glyphosate in dozens of breakfast products.
We're very concerned that consumers are eating more glyphosate than they know.
Now, a second round of testing shows 28 more samples analyzed contain glyphosate residues, 10 samples from General Mills Cheerios products, and 18 samples from Quaker brand products ranging from instant oatmeal to snack bars. 26 of the samples came back with residue levels higher than what the group believes is safe for children. General Mills says trace amounts of pesticides are found in the majority of food we all eat, and the company follows the very strict rules set by the FDA and EPA, who determine the safe levels for food products. Quaker told us that any minimal levels of glyphosate that may remain in finished products are significantly below regulatory limits and well within compliance of the safety standards. But the World Health Organization says glyphosate is a probable carcinogen in humans, and the state of California lists it as a chemical known to the state to cause cancer.
You could be giving your kids cancer without them even knowing about it. There's something called a glyphosate. A glyphosate is a cancer-causing agent in breakfast cereals, like Cheerios, and about 30 other products. Have I got your attention?
I find the results of this report concerning.
Dr. Philip Landrigan, a pediatrician and one of the world's experts on children's environmental health, advises parents to move away from brands containing glyphosate and buy organic products for their children that do not contain the chemical.
Children are exquisitely vulnerable to toxic chemicals such as glyphosate. Even a tiny dose that would probably be harmless to an adult carries much greater risk for a child.
Well, Monsanto, which sells products containing glyphosate, says the study is misleading. It says the chemical is safe, and it maintains it does not cause cancer. Monsanto also says that adults would have to eat huge quantities of these foods every day to exceed the EPA's limit for glyphosate exposure. General Mills says food safety is a top priority, and Quaker stands by its products.
So I'm sitting at home watching you this morning. What should I do? I'm worried about Honey Nut Cheerios.
So if you listen to Dr. Landrigan, who specializes in children's environmental health and has for a long time, he would tell you that children are very sensitive to small amounts of chemicals. They take in more food per pound of body weight than adults do, and so that exposes them higher and they're more sensitive. And he really believes that parents should look out for the kids in terms of trying to make sure that they do not ingest chemicals as much as possible. He says try to move toward organic.
But Quaker says it's safe.
So Quaker and General Mills are saying, look, there's a lot of this in our foods, and especially if you're an adult. You know, Monsanto says if you're an adult, you'd have to eat ridiculous amounts of these foods to expose yourself. But there is and so there is that debate. But I think people who specialize in children are saying that they are concerned about this, especially for kids and for parents, right? For kids, yeah.
I think it's good information for people to know. Thank you, Anna.
Popular breakfast foods and cereals marketed to kids contain a weed-killing chemical that some health authorities link to cancer.
This is so bizarre to me, but the research that came out this morning discovered trace amounts of something called glyphosate that are in oats and granola and snack bars. Anna Warner has more on what you should know.
We're very concerned that consumers are eating more glyphosate than they know.
Scott Faber has been working to improve food safety standards for more than a decade. He says the team at the nonprofit Environmental Working Group, or EWG, had a lab test 45 samples of products made with conventionally grown oats and found glyphosate, the active ingredient in the Monsanto weed killer Roundup in all but 2.
I was shocked.
Dr. Jennifer Lowry heads the Council on Environmental Health for the American Academy of Pediatrics.
We don't know a lot about the effects of glyphosate on children, and essentially we're just throwing it at them.
EWG used its own, more stringent standards to conclude that products with excessive levels of the herbicide included Quaker old-fashioned oats, Cheerios, Quaker Dinosaur Egg Instant Oats, Great Value Instant Oats, and Back to Nature Classic Granola Clusters. Glyphosate was even found in a few organic products, though most had non-detectable levels. The World Health Organization says glyphosate is a probable carcinogen. The state of California lists it as a chemical known to the state to cause cancer. Monsanto disputes that, saying in a statement glyphosate does not cause cancer and has a more than 40-year history of safe use. And Monsanto criticized EWG's research, saying even at the highest level reported, an adult would have to eat 118 pounds of the food item every day for the rest of their life in order to reach the EPA's limit for glyphosate residues.
Did Monsanto fail to adequately warn of the potential risks? Answer, yes.
But last week, a jury in California ordered Monsanto to pay one man $289 million in damages after he claimed the company's glyphosate weed killers caused his cancer. And EWG's favor is skeptical of EPA's glyphosate limits.
We don't think it does enough in particular to protect children.
It is time now for them to step up and do their jobs to ban glyphosate.
Zen Honeycutt heads Moms Across America, a group formed to raise awareness about toxic exposures. Her family switched to an organic-only diet after her 3 sons developed allergies and other health problems.
We want to trust that what is in the grocery store is safe. And the shocking reality is that in many cases it's not.
We reached out to the manufacturers of those products. In a statement, Quaker said, "We proudly stand by the safety and quality of our Quaker products. Any levels of glyphosate that may remain are significantly below any limits of the safety standards set by the EPA and the European Commission as safe for human consumption." And General Mills told us our products are safe and without question they meet regulatory safety levels. The EPA has researched this issue and has set rules that we follow.